What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Chris Miles Show, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia. Let me just say this. To all of you all out there who want to keep this truth coming to you, to all of you all out there that believe in what we're doing, you can donate to the Chris Miles Show. Send whatever donations you would like to contribute to the Chris Miles Show to that of Cash App, the money symbol, at Chris Miles. Once again, send all donations, whatever you would like to contribute to that of the Chris Miles Show on Cash App at the money symbol, Chris Miles. Okay? Now, Mr. Producer, put that information on the screen, please. Put that Cash App information out there. Now, let me just say something that I truthfully believe needs to be said. I'm originally from Montgomery, Alabama. Montgomery, Alabama has its place of haters, okay? When I say it has its place of haters, the people in Montgomery, not all, but many, are the ones that will not support you, will hate you for trying to get out of that bucket of crabs. Most people have to leave Montgomery to be successful. Those are the facts. But what I find very interesting and telling at this point is that I have been doing the Chris Miles Show since 2014, believe it or not. That's right. I started working on this here, the Chris Miles Show, back in 2014. The people who are behind the Chris Miles Show, being that Mr. Producer was with me then. He was a young man believing in the concept. He never left. There are a few more other people that stayed with the concept of the Chris Miles Show. So from 2014 to where we are today, we've been out here doing what is called podcasts. We no longer podcast because we are a showcast. There's a difference, a significant difference. But I have to say this. There are people out there that I have helped, tried to help, who has a lot of negative things to say about me and the Chris Miles Show. Like, they are non-supportive of what we do here at the Chris Miles Show. So much so that the last time that I conversated with this preacher / comedian, he was telling me that God talked to him and told him this. The only somebody that's written in history that I've known God to talk to is that of Moses. So the fact of the matter is, for this guy to say that God talked to him, for me is amazing, to say the least. But I'm just really kind of singling him out because at this point, he's one of the haters that come to mind. Like, how is it that I've tried to give you, support, to, put things out there for people to bag you, but then when it comes to me, you don't return the favor. You don't put back. But then you will go say, well, God talked to me, God told me. And what's really sad about it is you have a lot of women that have bought into this bullshit. Like this guy here, all of a sudden is a comedian. He's not funny. He's not funny whatsoever. So you a / comedian / preacher. I don't want to put you in a category of being a con artist, but you're running very close. But you know what? I'm not going to mention any names. I don't want to step on no toes without stepping on toes, if you will. But the fact of the matter is that in despite of however you feel about the Chris Miles Show, we just didn't start doing this shit. We have been doing this since 2014. Okay? Here as of a few years ago, we just actually got monetized to come in here to get people to believe in what you do, your concept, it takes a lot of work. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this. My job is relatively easy compared to all of the things that Mr. Producer and the other people, the team of people that we have here, do. They prepare it, and I put it out. And Mr. Producer, it takes sometimes as much as 17, 18 hours to edit an hour worth of content, because you have to go and you have to find all of the things to synchronize to the talking points. There's a lot of work that goes into this bullshit. So as far as somebody out there feeling some type of way about me, Chris Miles, or, not supporting us, you hating on us because we just inspire to be different, that's your problem with us. Personally, I don't give a shit. We're going to keep doing what we do. All right? In despite of the hate. Let's go into our next segment. So, massive breaking news expose Harris plot to declare martial law and order the U.S. military to kill American protesters. There is something that is out that's called the DOD Directive 5240.01. DOD intelligence and intelligence related actives and defense intelligence components, assistance to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. This is information that you will never hear anybody in the news media talk about. This is why it is so important. It is so important for people to keep it right here with me, Chris Miles, and the Chris Miles Show. Now, if you're thinking that this here is false information that I'm bringing forward, RFK Jr. has released this information, and this information is out there on the internet. So this is not something that I have concocted. I'm just relaying the facts. And I want everybody to think about something, because remember, all of the things that you're actually seeing on that of CNN and some of the other news conglomerates, that of the New York Times, the shit rag, those things that you're actually, or they're putting out there, they're painting Donald Trump as this villain. But this information here is information that has come out and being distributed by that of Kamala Inhofe. One of the other persons that have put this information out is that of Alex Jones. And everybody knows that all of the stuff came out about him connected to Sandy Hook. So he's one of the most hated individuals out there. And anybody that brings out pertinent information about what is going on and where we are, you're going to be labeled in some type of shape, form, or fashion anti-government, when in fact you're just trying to protect the people. But yes, the one that's being sold to everybody to vote for, you're getting ready to submit all of your rights away. That is what's going on. Do the research, go look it up. Just remember, we tried to inform you on what was going on. What's going on, everybody? This is Chris Miles from the Chris Miles Show. Listen up. I want to thank everybody. I do, from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank everybody for watching our content on YouTube. I do. But I need a favor from everybody out there. I'm asking everybody out there that will come across the Chris Miles Show. I'm asking you all to subscribe, to like, and to follow our channel on YouTube. And not only like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, but take our information and share it with your friends, your family members, and the people in your circle and network. We're trying to grow our channel. We try to put out tangible information that is good information for you to be able to sustain yourself out here in society. We're blessed to get information that a lot of other people out here doing what we do don't get. And when we come across that information, when we get it, we bring it directly to the people. But we want to thank everybody who has supported the Chris Miles Show, and we're asking you to spread the love. Share our channel with your loved ones, your friends, people in your network. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and follow the Chris Miles Show. Okay? And as always, the moving finger rights has written, moves on. To all of you, good day. Let me say something. People, I want you all to get what it is that I have to say, because this lie has to stop. This lie has to stop because it's a lie that's perpetuated every day. It's a lie that is corrupting the minds. We are not under a democracy. We're under a republic. I hear all of these people coming on the news and they're saying that somehow we're under a democracy. We're not under a democracy, people. We are under a republic. And we have always been under a republic. So let's put this bullshit myth to death. We're not functioning under a democracy. Democracy only matters the time of voting. That's when it matters. We are here living everyday life. We are functioning under a republic, for the republic for which it stands. All of this other stuff I hear about, oh, we're under a democracy. Democracy. Bullshit. We're under a fucking republic, people. And when they put that bullshit out there about that we're functioning under democracy, this is why things are what they are today. And this is what Donald Trump wants to go back to, is a republic. He want to carry it back to that because some kind of way through policy, they have eroded everything away from that of the republic. That's what we're dealing with. And this is what they do not want you to know. They know people are gullible. They know people are fucking sheeple out here. I look at all this shit that CNN run. It's just such a detestable fucking network, man. They bring Van Jones and all those individuals on there, and they are doing the most, I think it's safe to say. But we're not under a democracy, people. We're under a republic. And it is high time, it is by time that you all understand and know where this is, where this thing is going. There are two set of rules, there are two set of policies, and there are people out there. One man is out there, however negative, nasty, disgusting you think he might be, he wants to keep it about the agenda of what it was founded on. This lady here wants to bring in globalism. This is why the fucking borders are open. All of the things that have been damaging to we, the people, the republic, because they want to keep you on this mindset that this shit is based off of democracy. That's what we're dealing with. We're gonna go more into this story later in the hour. Y'all keep it right here with me, Chris Miles. We'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go into this audio by that of Candace Owens and that of Judge Joe Brown. The reason I'm going to go into this because all of this stuff is very essential to where we are and what's going on and what it is that we need to know. All right?
Look at the Black Caucus. They love Kamala because she's just as big a fake as they are. If you examine the voting records for the Black Caucus, you will find something very interesting.
Is it really the Rainbow Coalition?
Yeah, because they're a member of the Liberty Caucus, which is the LGBTQIA plus caucus in Congress. I think all but 4 or 5 of them. And they do more work for the Liberty Caucus than they do for the Black Caucus. Now, we have in Memphis, for the 9th District of Tennessee, we have Steve Cohen. He's white, he's Jewish, he's gay, and guess what? He is chairman of the Black Caucus's Reparations Committee. So he's also holds that same position for the Liberty Caucus. So what is this? They had that circus for 2 weeks about whether to have a formal committee to study reparations. And then 2 weeks later, on the first voice vote, no debate, they passed what's known as, quote, the Gay Reparations Act.
Okay, so this is what we're doing is we're using black people as a smokescreen.
Yeah,
To allow,
and that's what they're doing with
LGBTQ to
Kamala
spike the vote.
Harris. Look at the Black Caucus.
So, black people, you're being played. This is why, whew, this is the thing with me, right? This is what I have to say. This is what I have to say, people. The Most High put things in and on my spirit. That's first and foremost, right? I have never cared for this woman. And I never cared for her because I knew she was a scammer, man. Like, when you go and you look at the biggest scammers in the earth today, they are of Hindu descent, man. The Hindus are the biggest fucking scammers out there in society today. These people can put their hands on $30 million, but yet they are scamming. Like, they go out, they get all type of perks from the government. The Hindus get the biggest perks from the government. They're on Medicaid, they're on Medicare, they're getting food stamps. But then government will get mad at single black mothers for receiving some type of assistance to feed their children. But then you got these people that are tax exempt for a certain amount of time. They come in here. They don't play by the rules. They don't even respect government's rules. And they get all of this assistance and receive all of these perks from the government. And they're interconnected to the Jewish community, who and what Kamala is connected to. You have the Hindus and the Jews, and they're doing what they've always done. The Most High is exposing and revealing the enemies of America. I got people that I'm interconnected to that works in retail and in government. And they specifically tell me all of the time, these Hindus come into the store, because most of them receive food stamps. You got a man out there that's of Hindu descent that can put his hand on $30 million at least. And this man is receiving food stamps. So they're coming to a Sam's Club or a Costco or go somewhere, and guess what? They want two receipts. One for the business and one for the assistance that they receive from the government. All along, they're tax exempt. This is what Kamala Inhofe is connected to. You go right up to New York, go right in the Jewish community, and all those people up there who are of Jewish descent receive perks from the government. They're getting food stamps, welfare. But y'all have an issue. Y'all have an issue when these black females who are single mothers receive it. Yes, black men should step up and play the part they need to play. But guess what? The system broke apart the black families. This is what we're dealing with. Then, as Judge Joe Brown said in the video, he said, the man that's heading up the committee for reparation dealing with this here is Jewish and gay. This is the game that is being ran on black people. This is the game, you understand, that they have perpetuated on you. This is why Kamala Inhofe was being pushed as the black candidate. That's right. She's so black that she couldn't even marry this here. But then they get mad at black men for supporting Trump. This is a sad state of affairs, people. All we're doing is we're bringing out the facts of what the facts are. I know that it makes a lot of people uncomfortable, but that's what truth is supposed to do. If you're fat, you're obese, somebody has to tell you you're fat and obese so you can change the habits of what you're doing. Black people, you've been fucking up. I got out of the business a long time ago of trying to rectify and change the dynamics of the black community. That ain't my job. That ain't my job. I don't want that fucking job. I paid a grim price for it. I suffered, my kids suffered, and my family members suffered. And the ones around me suffered. I'm not doing it anymore. But what I will do is I will put the facts out there. It is a sad state of affairs when Hindus set up stores in the black community. And in the run of a month, the company is cutting the man that has set a business up in the black community $100,000 for a month, 1 month. And he got stores in the black community. He got 30 in the black community. This is the power that you all have that you all don't know anything about. The people in Congress, Clyburn, Meeks, all of these people up here, Jeffries, they don't say anything about the importance of black people centralizing their money because they don't represent you. They represent the interests of the Democratic Party. All I'm doing is giving you a grim reminder of what the facts are and the reasons why you should separate yourself from the bullshit. That's all. Y'all keep it right here with me, Chris Miles, the Chris Miles Show from Atlanta, Georgia. We'll get right back at you momentarily. So welcome back. So everybody, and I do mean everybody, is talking about that of Tony Hinchcliffe. Hopefully I'm pronouncing his name correctly. He was at the Donald Trump campaign rally in that of New York City. Everybody got something to say. Now, when I bring out to you whose ideal it was for Donald Trump to include Tony, or who they call Kill Tony, into the platform, you're going to be surprised. But I want to read something to the listening audience, everybody who's watching the Chris Miles Show. Now, when I say everybody's talking, everybody's talking. Now, this is coming from the Puerto Rican, the Puerto Ricans who vote Republican. And I just want to say this. I mean, I had this conversation with Mr. Producer and Ann and a few more people here at the Chris Miles Show. And I told them that I was thinking that there's a strong possibility because what was said could be detrimental to Donald Trump's campaign. I even talked to some white conservative friends of mine on yesterday, and we pretty much talked about that. Well, they wanted to say that they was unaware of it. So, and I asked a question. I said, how can you be unaware of it when everybody's talking about it? I mean, you listen to Donald Trump's content every day. Surely you watch Fox News and some of the other news networks out there, Newsmax. And I just find it disingenuous for you to say that you were unaware of it. Nevertheless, let me just read something because this is why I'm saying that this could be very detrimental to that of Donald Trump's campaign. Following comments made by Tony Hinchcliffe at Donald Trump's rally, comparing Puerto Rico to a floating island of garbage. The chairman of the Puerto Rican GOP announced that he will not vote for Trump if the latter do not apologize. So Donald Trump, quite naturally, his campaign came out and they released statements, distancing themselves from Kill Tony, or Tony Hinchcliffe. But I think that it has to be more done. Like, you can't just come out and distance yourself from that. A lot of people Trump is scheduled today to be in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Allentown, Pennsylvania have a substantial number of Puerto Ricans there. Okay. And you can't go there and just, do a play on words and think that this shit is going to be fine. There has to be an apology. But nevertheless, we are going to play what this man said, as well as before I go into that, I'm going to show you guys where the ideal came from. It is said, or from what we got, that Joe Rogan came with the ideal of enticing Trump to allow Tony Hinchcliffe to be on the platform. And this is why I say I think it's so disingenuous. As Mr. Producer said, that it was a simple fix because all you had to do is, just read the room. You knew people were there of different ethnicities. So even if you were thinking these things, a lot of times you can't come out and say those things. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to play what this guy said from the very top, and just give our points of view after the fact of that. But let's go into where the idea came from to put this horrible person on the platform to speak. This came from that of Joe Rogan.
It would behoove him to hire a few great comics to just tour with him and just write one-liners about all these different fucking people. I mean, if he could remember them, I mean, I know he likes to go off his own head, but if he could remember a few Hinchcliffe bangers, if he hires Hinchcliffe to take him on the road, do you know how fucking insane that would be?
Yeah, dude.
Hinchcliffe writing bangers for Trump to shit on people. Trump was smart. He would hire Shane and Tony Hinchcliffe to write.
So that's where the idea came from. Remember, Donald Trump appeared on Joe Rogan's program. So that being what it is, Joe Rogan was the enticing party that convinced Trump to bring this guy who wasn't funny, who could possibly cost Trump the fucking election, because the Democrats now have this subject matter by the horns. Like they've grabbed the nut job, and they are not letting up on what Hinchcliffe said. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to go into what he said, because it was completely very disheartening, and it was completely inconsiderate, very inconsiderate. Like I said, a lot of times you can feel a certain way, but by you feeling that way or you thinking that way, you can't come out and you can't say those things. But we're gonna play the audio of what this idiot said. That wasn't funny, by the way.
It is absolutely wild times. It really, really is. And, there's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico. Okay. All right. Okay. We're getting there.
So the volume of that wasn't good, but we're going to see if we can bring another one up here on what this guy said, and to bring clarity to what he said. Like I say, it was for us, it was very, very insensitive for this individual to say what he said. And before we do that, let's go into what Vance said. Okay, let's go into that.
Last night during the pre-program, a comedian made several racist jokes that the campaign has since distanced itself from. Another speaker called Kamala Harris the Antichrist. Another called her the devil. You've talked before about former President Trump being able to unite the country. I'm curious, as we are entering this last stretch of campaigning, this final week, is that the right tone to have started this final 8 days with?
Well, first of all, I think that we've got to focus, Alec, I appreciate the question, but I think that we as a country, and I think that includes the press, it includes the Kamala Harris campaign, and it certainly includes our campaign, the way that we unite the country is to talk about the issues the American people care the most about. And what we're doing over the next 8 days is we're focused, laser focused, on how we're going to close the border, how we're going to make American lives more affordable again, how we're going to bring down the cost of housing. That's what we should be talking. I think a lot of Americans are sick of the distractions and sick of the BS. They want our candidates to talk about how they're going to solve the people's problems. And that's what we ought to do.
Now, all of that shit sounds good. It does. But, you can't be insensitive to something that somebody you brought on your platform who said some fucked up shit. Then in terms of that, you distance yourself from it. You're releasing statements saying, well, we don't condone what he said. But then you get in front of a crowd and you say something completely opposite of that. Don't get me wrong. We support Donald Trump here on the Chris Mount. Well, some of us do. But the point is, let's be completely fair and balanced about this shit. You know, you got one verbiage for one group of people. Then when you somewhere else, you have another verbiage for that group of people. That shit ain't gonna fly. This guy, Tony Hinchcliffe, that they brought onto the show, from what we're getting here at the Chris Miles Show, it was Joe Rogan's idea to put this man on that platform for him to say what he said is fucked up. And I'm going to say this. I'm looking for somebody to beat his ass at the end of the day. Somebody going to put hands to him, because what he think and what a lot of them think is humor, a lot of people don't, especially when the people who are making humor out of what he said created the conditions for the people that they're making fun of. I'm Chris Miles. You're watching the Chris Miles Show. As we close, until next time, the Moving Finger Rights has written, moves on to all of you. To all of you, have a good day.